Hello students, in the last lecture we have discussed about the formation of coal, like what actually coal is, what actually petrol is, how these are formed, okay, and we have discussed the main difference also between the petrol and coal, which was what, like petrol is formed by the when the many plants and animals, okay, they buried under the seabed, and then on that the layer of sand and sedimentary rock was formed, and due to their decomposition, petrol was formed. But I told, especially when we talk about coal, we don't have to use the word specifically animals, okay. Why? Because when we talk about coal, coal is formed by how it is formed by due to the plants. When many plants, they due to some accident or maybe some other reason, they were buried under the surface of the earth, and on that the layer of the sand was formed, high pressure was there, high temperature was there, and in absence of oxygen, these all plants, these all trees got converted into what? Coal, okay. So these were the things which were discussed in our last lecture. Now we are going to talk about the types of coal, okay. So see, coal can be of different variety, it can be of different quality rather, okay. And what decides the quality? Like how can we say this is a coal of a better quality and this is a coal of like little bit lesser, like it's not as good as this one. So we'll just discuss about that. So first of all, what we are going to study here, first of all we'll start with types of varieties of coal, okay. So let me write the heading, varieties of coal. Okay, when we talk about varieties of coal, there are four major varieties of coal, okay. So what are those? Peat, okay, lignite, and here even I can write wood, like wood is getting converted into peat, peat gets converted into lignite, then bituminous and anthracite. See, I have written four things on the blackboard. What are the four things? Four things are what? Peat, lignite, okay, bituminous and anthracite. These are the four major varieties of the coal. Now, I can write, wood also here. Like why I can write wood? I am writing wood over here. I am writing wood over here. So why I have written wood? Is wood a coal? No. What I mean to explain, what I mean to say is, when wood is buried, okay, when the plants are buried, they got converted slowly in absence of in absence of oxygen, high temperature, high pressure, like it took many millions of years, okay. In this millions of years, wood got converted into peat, okay. Now if this decomposition or this barrier continued for more period, okay, that means if peat is not removed and if it is there only, if it is allowed to be there for more years, then what happens? Peat gets converted into lignite, okay. If lignite is continued to be there, if it is not removed, then what will happen? Lignite will get converted into bituminous, and so on, it will get converted into anthracite. Okay, so what does it prove? It says that peat is the youngest coal, we can say. Yes, it is the youngest coal, that means it is the first stage. So peat is the youngest stage. It is the first step when we talk about the formation of coal. This is the, I can say these are the stages of formation of anthracite coal. So first of all, wood get converted into peat, peat gets converted into lignite, then bituminous, and then anthracite coal is formed. So peat is what? It is the youngest stage, it is the youngest coal, okay, and it has got less amount of carbon, okay, less amount of carbon is present. Okay, less amount of carbon is present in this. Now, in lignite, what will happen? Obviously, the amount of carbon will be more than peat and lesser than the bituminous. And likewise here also, here the amount of carbon will be more than lignite and less than anthracite. And anthracite, I can write it is the oldest coal. Okay, it is the, what we can say, like this is the first stage. So it is what? It is the last stage. Then I have written here less amount of carbon. So what I can write over here? Highest amount of carbon is present. Okay, highest amount of carbon is present. So please try to understand what we are discussing. We are talking about varieties of coal. How it can be divided into? It can be divided into 4 types or 4 stages. First is what? Like peat. From where? From how the peat is going to form? Obviously from the wood. Wood get converted into peat. Peat gets converted into lignite. Lignite gets converted into bituminous, and bituminous gets converted into anthracite. Now, peat is the youngest coal. That means it has got very less amount of carbon in it. It is the first stage. That means when the wood get converted into coal. So this is what? The youngest coal. Okay. Then it get converted into the, as just I have explained to you, this is the highest amount of carbon containing coal. Okay. It is black, it is shiny, it is porous, and it is like it emits very less amount of pollution. Okay. And you know, this is the, which one? Like when I talk about lignite, it is what? It is soft coal. Okay, it is soft coal. Bituminous coal is household coal. Okay. Please pay attention over here. Lignite is what? Lignite is what? It is soft coal. When I am saying lignite, it is soft coal. So obviously which one will be the hardest one? Obviously anthracite will be the hardest one. Okay, so these were the points of the varieties of coal. Okay, now children, we all are aware now, like in India also at various places we have coal mines. Understood? So at what places do we have coal mines? So like you know, there are various places. I can count upon few, like we have Jharkhand. Okay. We have what? Jharkhand. Even I can write Madhya Pradesh. I can write Orissa. So these are the places where we can find coal mines. Okay. So I will just write the heading over here. Places where we can find coal mines. I am talking about India. Okay, I am not talking about any other country. So Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, and even West Bengal, these are the places where we can find coal. Okay, so this was a rough sketch of how these coal are, what are the stages, what is the difference. This is very primary difference what we have discussed now. Okay, so now we'll move to the next topic. So just now we have discussed about the varieties of coal. Now we will be discussing, and after that we have also discussed about the places where we can find coal. Now we'll discuss how, like how the coal is useful for us. Okay, see, first of all, when coal is burned, okay, when coal is burning, means what is burning? Obviously carbon is burning. Okay, so when coal is burning, and burning means what? It is going to react with oxygen, obviously. Yes, so what will be formed? Carbon dioxide will be formed, and what will be produced? Lot of heat will be produced. So this is the, like, what happens when the coal burns. What happens? Carbon is present in the coal. Coal is burning, so I can write what? Carbon. That means C, carbon is burning. It is burning means what? It is reacting with what? It is reacting with oxygen. When carbon reacts with oxygen, this is very basic, we all know, carbon dioxide gas is formed, along with that lot of heat is formed. Okay, so now what else can be done? Like, can carbon or can coal be only burned to produce heat and energy, or just to produce the whenever we burn carbon, or carbon I'm saying, carbon again, like in the form of coal, when we burn the coal, only we can find only these two things, only carbon dioxide and heat, or something else is there which we can get, which we can find, which we can which can be obtained from the coal. So children, there are few things which can be obtained by the destructive distillation. Okay, what is the term? Please pay attention over here. It is destructive distillation. Okay, destructive distillation, or even I can say dry distillation. Okay, see children, till now, like today, in today's lecture, what we are doing, we have read about the varieties of coal. Would get converted into peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite, youngest coal, and this one is what? Oldest coal, soft, like this, these are the soft in comparison to this one is the hardest coal. Okay, this we have read. Then we discussed which are the places where we can find coal mines. Now, then we are studying at present what? Like when we burn coal, carbon dioxide and heat is produced. Now what I am telling to you is, when we are burning coal, can only two things can be obtained. There is nothing else in the universe which can be obtained from the coal. Okay, so what we are talking about? We are talking about destructive distillation, or it can be even called as dry distillation. That means what else can be formed from the coal? Okay, when we try to, when the coal undergoes destructive distillation, what are the different things which can be formed? I'll just have a look on that. So now we will discuss about destructive distillation of the coal. Okay, so what we are going to talk about? We are going to talk about destructive distillation of coal. Okay, and I told you it can be also known as dry distillation or destructive distillation. Now what actually this is? before also, here also I wrote destructive discussion, destructive distillation we are going to talk about. But what is destructive distillation of coal? What is the meaning of dry distillation of coal? That means, children, when coal is heated, okay, when coal is heated at a very high temperature in absence of oxygen, okay. So let me first of all write over here what is destructive distillation. When coal is heated, okay, in absence of air at a very high temperature. Okay. See, this is a definition. I told you before also, like whenever we write examination paper, we should always keep in mind in science that we should start the thing with the definition. We should quote several examples, okay, whichever class you go to. First of all, please write the definition, write many examples. Do not think that whether it is asked or not asked, whether the examples has to be quoted or not to be quoted, but always do so. So, we have written destructive distillation definition over here. So, what is that? When coal is heated in absence of oxygen at a very high temperature. So, now we know what happens. Coal is forming, is getting, like, many different things are being formed. So, we'll just have a look at 3-4 things which are being formed due to destructive distillation of coal. The first one is, let me write, first is coke. Okay, the first one is what? Coke. Second is coal tar. Okay, then the third one is coal gas. And the fourth one is ammonium liquor. Okay. See, when coal undergoes this process, when coal undergoes destructive distillation, there are different substances which are formed. There are different things which are formed. What can be the different things? What can be these things? It can be coke, that means coke is formed, coal tar, okay, this is formed, coal gas, even this is formed, and ammonium liquor. So, these are the 4 things which can be obtained due to destructive distillation of coal. And when these things are obtained, so don't you think these things will be very useful, and that is the reason we are trying to obtain this from the coal, okay. So, these things are obtained from the coal because all these things are very important things. It can be used to in various places, we will be discussing in detail, but these are very good fuels, and these are then again used to get many different substances or products, okay. So, just have a look on the first one. First of all, we will talk about coke. So, let me write over here coke. When destructive distillation is done, okay, when this process is done, so coke is the last one to be left behind, okay. Means what? If all the volatile substance, okay, when all the volatile substances are removed, then what will happen? Then coke is the last residue, okay. Now see, what I mean to say is, children, when we are converting coal into coke, okay, so like when coal undergoes destructive distillation process, so what will happen? Many substances will be formed, and when all these substances are removed, all these volatile substances are removed, then coke is the one which is left at the last. Okay, now see, coke is formed from coal. How it is formed? When coal is heated, please try to understand, when coal is heated. Okay, what we are doing here, we are heating coal. Okay, what we are doing, we are heating coal in absence of what? In absence of oxygen. Okay, when coal is heated in absence of oxygen, various things are formed. So we are discussing first one. So when this thing is done, there are many substances which are volatile. These are formed, and after that the last one which is formed is what? Coke. Okay, now children, this one is better fuel. Okay, I should write over here, this one is better fuel. I am not able to write always, as you know, better fuel than coal. Okay, why it is better fuel than coal? Please try to recall the good qualities of fuel. How a fuel should be, children? Fuel should be always, see, many characteristics are there. It should be easily available, it should not pollute, and rather when we can say like it should be less polluting. It should be less harmful, it should be smokeless. That means when it burns, a lot of smoke shouldn't come out. Okay, and heat which gives out, heat which is produced should be less or more. It should be obviously more, isn't it? So these are various characteristics of a good fuel. When I am saying coke is a better fuel in comparison to the coal. So what are the qualities which the coke has? See, what are the things which I counted? Easily available. It should be like what? Like if the smoke is coming, it should be less. It should not be like when the fuel is burned, everything, like everywhere you will see smoke only, or the smoke, the amount of smoke which is released is very high. Then it becomes very difficult for the person to use, isn't it? So what is happening? Why I am saying coal is not as good as coke, or vice versa? Why coke is better than coal? Because more heat is produced. If we burn the same amount of coke and coal, the coke will give more amount of heat. Okay, more amount of heat is produced, less amount of smoke is produced. Okay, easily available. It should be cheaper also. Okay, so these are the various qualities of the fuel. So now here what are the things? It produces lesser smoke then when we compare to the coal, in comparison to the coal. And second thing is what? It produces more amount of heat in comparison to the coal. So it is better than what? Coal. Why, children? Why I am writing here point? Because produces more heat and less smoke. Then what I am talking? In comparison to the coal. Okay, then it has got 98% of carbon. Okay, it has got 98% of carbon. So this is a very, it is a very tough kind of substance. It is how it is tough, or I can say it is hard. Okay, so these are the qualities of the coke. Now, what can be the more qualities which can be added in the, what we can say, like these are also the qualities of the coke. I can say this is a pure form. Okay, it is a pure form of maybe the coke or the coal or the carbon. Okay, and it is used, where it is used? It is used in the extraction. Let me rub that thing. It is used in the extraction of metals. Now children, what is the meaning of extraction? Extraction when particular metal is removed from the ores. Okay, extraction of metals, and it is also used in the manufacturing of steel. Okay, so these are the qualities which coke has. Okay, what are the qualities? It is like what it is, when coal is heated in absence of air at high temperature, various substances are formed. When all the volatile substances are removed, then coke is the last one to be formed. After this, we can say that coke is much better fuel than the coal. Why? Because the amount of heat which is produced is very high in comparison to the coal, and the smoke which is produced is less. Then it has got 98% of carbon, and it is very tough, it is pure form, and it is also used, okay, it is used in extraction of metals and manufacturing of steel also, okay. So what we are studying? We are studying destructive distillation of coal. What is the meaning of destructive distillation? To heat the coal in absence of air at very high temperature. What are the things which will be formed? Different things will be formed. Coke will be formed, coal tar will be formed, coal gas will be formed, and ammonium liquor will be formed. Just now what we have discussed? We have discussed coke. Understood? Now second point which we are going to discuss is about which one? Coal tar. See, coal tar is what? It is a, I can say, a viscous sort of liquid, okay. It is a semi-liquid, like very thick liquid, okay. Then it is of black color and doesn't has a very good smell, okay. So what shall I write over here? Unpleasant smell. Okay, unpleasant smell. That means smell is not good, okay. I can write what? Bad. Okay, bad smell. It is of black color. Okay, then it is what? It is, just now I said it is viscous. Okay, it is a, which kind of liquid? It is a thick liquid. Okay, now children, you know, this one, coal tar is made up of, how many substances can be made up of? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 15, 20, 100, 150? No. It is made up of more than, okay, made up of more than 200, okay. Just pay attention over here. It is made up of more than 200 substances. Okay, it is made up of more than 200 substances. Just please pay attention over here. We are talking about the destructive distillation, in which first one is what? Coke is formed. Second, we are discussing coal tar. Coal tar is formed. Now what is coal tar? It is semi-solid. That means what is the meaning of semi-solid? It is not very hard, strong solid, and it is also not a flowing liquid. Okay, but what it is? It is a semi-solid. So what it is a semi-solid. Now second, the next thing is what? It doesn't has a very good smell. It doesn't has a very pleasant smell. It has a bad smell. It is a thick liquid, and it is made up of, just imagine, 200 substances. It is made up of what? 200 substances. Now you know children, when we have 200 substances in it, so what has to be done now? What can be done? Just think. Children, all these 200 substances can be, like, you know, the substances are removed from this. Okay, the substances are removed from this, and then those substances are used to make different kind of things. Now what are the things, or what can be the things which are or which can be made by the coal tar? There is a long list which can be, like, which can be obtained or formed due to the or with the help of the coal tar. What can be those things? See, medicines, plastic, synthetic fibers, okay, then what else can be the thing? Okay, so what we are discussing, see, long list is there: medicines, plastic, synthetic fibers, then what can be the next one, even the dyes, okay, then paints, and even perfumes, okay, then roofing material, okay, then even it can be used in the formation of like synthetic petrol, okay. And what else it can be used in, like medicine is there, plastic, synthetic fiber, dyes, paints, perfumes, okay. Then what I have written over here, I have written here like roofing material, okay, and even waterproofing material, waterproofing material. So these are the various things, and even in the photographic films, photographic material, photographic material. So there is a long list of what can be obtained from the coal tar. As I told, 200 substances are there in it. So when all these substances all the substances are separated, so many things are formed. Now even organic compounds are formed. Okay, now what can be the organic compounds? See, from this benzene is formed, okay, phenol is formed, toluene is formed, naphtha is formed. So all these things are formed from the coal tar. And when these things are formed, like when naphtha is formed, when benzene is formed, when phenol is formed, so from these substances, again these substances can be used in manufacturing of various products, okay. So this is about what coal tar, how it is semi-solid, it is black, it doesn't gives a good smell, okay, and then it is made up of more than 200 compounds. More than 200 compounds are present in this, and so it can be used in the manufacture of different substances. What can be those substances? Like medicines, like dyes, like even I'll keep on remembering one and just like keep on writing, because there's a long list. Even these are used in manufacturing of explosives. I should write over here. It is used in the manufacture of explosives also, okay. So there's long list where it can be used. So come to the next one. Now we'll be discussing about the coal gas. See, again, destructive distillation, and what is that? When coal is heated in absence of air. Now what are the things which is formed? Coal tar. These two things we have discussed. Now what we'll be discussing? We'll be discussing about the coal gas and ammonium liquor. So just we'll talk about coal gas.